Hi guys, welcome to my channel Happy High Tarot. In today's pick a card reading, we will find out what does your boss think of you and what do your co-workers think of you. So there are two ways in which you can choose your pile. The first way is by choosing a shell. So group 1, this is your shell. It is transparent with yellow dots. Group 2, this is your shell. It's got white stripes and it's actually purple. And group 3, this is your shell. It is dark blue with yellow dots all over. And if you would like to choose using images, you can see those on your screen right now. You can pause the video over here, meditate on all three, pick whichever one calls out to you the most. You'll find the timestamps in the comment section as well as in the description box below. So make your choice and let's get started. Hello group 1, if you guys chose the transparent shell or if you chose the first image, let's begin your reading by taking a look at your tarot cards first. So how I'm going to go about this is the first 3 tarot cards will be about what your boss thinks of you. And so when I say boss, I mean the person that you report to, like your immediate reporting authority. That person might have more people above them in the corporate ladder, but the person that you report to. And then the other 2 tarot cards would be what your co-workers think of you, and then from the oracles we'll figure out what the general opinion about you is at your workplace. So let's get started. Group 1. Spirit, what does group 1's boss think of them? Alright, we have the 6 of Pentacles. What does group 1's boss think of them? We have the Ace of Pentacles. What does group 1's boss think of them? We have the 4 of Pentacles. Your boss sees you as an indispensable resource. Group 1, they're very fond of you, and I can see why. With the 6 of Pentacles over here and the Ace of Pentacles, so far you've had 100% success rate. I don't think that it has ever happened that your boss or your manager has asked you to do something and you've not been able to deliver. You always deliver. Maybe even before time, before the deadline. Your manager or your boss, they like you a lot. And honestly, with the energy of the Ace of Pentacles, this does not even seem superficial. It's not like they're being good to you because they have to be good to you because of HR or whatever. No, they're genuinely very content with your performance. They genuinely like you as a person, as well as a member of their team, as a colleague. Your boss thinks that they can blindly put their faith in you, even if the project is very close to the deadline or if it's very tricky, if no matter how irritating the client is, your boss knows or your manager knows that if they give that particular project to you, if they give that particular client to you, you will be able to deliver. All right, you will give them the kind of results that they want. I also feel like other teams in your office have tried to poach you in the past, or maybe other companies also for that matter have tried to poach you in the past, but your manager does not want you to leave. In fact, whatever it is that your manager can do, or whatever it is, manager / boss can do in their power to make sure that you stay, to make sure that you do not leave their team or that you do not leave this company, they will do that. They do not want to lose out on a resource like you. They do not want to lose out on such an amazing team member, such an amazing professional as you, group 1. I don't think it's been that long since you've been working in this particular company. Maybe you joined just last year, maybe it's been anywhere, maybe you joined somewhere around 2024, maybe you will complete 4 years in 2026, something like that. Regardless, you know, like how some students have that straight A record, that's you, but instead of a school, of course, this is now a workplace setting. I don't think that your boss as such has any complaints. Maybe, of course, during your feedback calls, they might give you some constructive feedback from time to time. That's another thing, but otherwise, I'm not seeing anything serious over here. I do, however, wish to clarify the 4 of Pentacles once. Okay, so this will not apply for all of you. It's a very specific message, but in case you've ever received feedback from your boss slash manager that you need to be a bit more proactive when it comes to engaging with the fellow members of your team, or when it comes to doing stuff that is outside of your job role, like HR activities, just like basically anything that's not a part of your job description, activities like that which keep taking place in offices, that is something where your boss slash manager would be happy if you could step up a little bit or increase your engagement a little bit. Otherwise, like I said, absolutely no complaints. Okay, now let's move on and see, what do your colleagues think of you? Spirit, what do 𝐿𝐼𝐴's colleagues think of them? What do 𝐿𝐼𝐴's colleagues think of them? What do 𝐿𝐼𝐴's colleagues think of them? We have strength. What do 𝐿𝐼𝐴's colleagues think of them, Spirit? And we have the 5 of Wands. Your colleagues see you as competition. And I'm not even surprised, because obviously if you are sitting over here in this energy as far as your manager or boss is concerned, naturally the other colleagues are bound to feel threatened. So they do feel threatened. They see you as someone who is, again, very good at what you do, very strong, very powerful, someone who has time and time again proven their worth. They know you're not the kind of colleague that can be taken lightly, and that is why I'm not surprised to see the 5 of Wands over here. So for instance, let's say that there's only one role that's up for grabs, just one promotion can be offered. It's like your colleagues, at the back of their head, they know that you're going to get it, not because the boss is partial towards you, but because of how amazing you are. Despite that, they'd like to try. I'm honestly not getting any. Let me just quickly see the bottom of the deck. We have the 6 of Cups over here. So I'm not picking up on any animosity over here. Thankfully, I'm not picking up on any jealousy either. It's just healthy competition. So you've not got anything to worry about. However, as we see, the lion is sitting over here with that crown, right? And we have the 5 of Wands. I can tell you this much, Group 1, that if not all, then at least some of your colleagues would love to displace you as the MVP of the team. Some colleagues of yours would definitely like to snatch that position which you currently enjoy as the best performer, as the best member on the team. They'd like that crown for themselves. They would like that title for themselves. They would like to be in the good books of the manager instead of you. But again, like I said, since the bottom of the deck is the 6 of Cups, they won't do anything shitty or shady about it. Just competing, just healthy competition. Any chance that they can get to prove their worth, any chance that they can get to outshine you, they would. So I would say, Group 1, that since you have this information now, keep it handy, store it somewhere in the back of your mind to make sure that you don't take any opportunity lightly, because there are people who want that crown from you. So now it's your responsibility that you make sure that that does not happen. You don't have to put pressure on yourself or anything, but yes, if you enjoy sitting in this position, if you enjoy this feeling, and you know there are people eyeing it, of course you will have to fight back. Okay, now let's take a look at your oracles, Group 1, to see that at your workplace, what is the general consensus about you? Like, generally, what do people at your workplace think of you? Now, this can be anyone. This is open-ended. This can be just basically the people whom you meet at work every time, all of the time. All right. Spirit, what do Group 1's co-workers think of them? What do Group 1's co-workers think of them? We have 2 the Sea. Just pull out the other 2 cards and then I'll tell you, all right? What do Group 1's co-workers think of them, Spirit? We have Firefly, which says wonder. 1's colleagues think of them? What do Group 1's co-workers think of them, Spirit? And we have abundance. Your co-workers honestly feel a sense of wonder when they see you going out and about your work. How does she do this? How is she so good at this? How does she manage to do it so efficiently? How does she manage to do this so effortlessly? It's like they want to be like you. They seek inspiration from you. They really admire your work ethic. They admire the way that you're able to, like I said, like this 100% success rate. They admire that. They're in awe of you. In fact, not just how you are as a professional, but otherwise also like how you are as a person, your personality, your style sense, all of these things. They like everything about you. I'm not sure how vocal they are about this though. They seem to be mute spectators. They seem to be silent admirers. So I don't think that people necessarily walk up to you all the time to tell you that you're doing a great job. Maybe some of them do, but most of them I think don't. But that does not mean that they harbor any ill will towards you. With 2 the C over here, your co-workers feel like you're the kind of person who prefers to stay in her own lane. You mind your business, you come, you do your work, you leave. You are not somebody who's interested in meaningless chit-chat. You're not somebody who's interested in meaningless gossip. In fact, I feel like at your workplace, you are the one who is the most unaware about what's happening in people's lives. You don't know, you don't care, you don't want to know either. And they know that. So I don't think they involve you in that water cooler gossip either. They don't. They respect it. They respect that this isn't something that you're interested in. They feel like you have a lot of potential. In fact, a lot of your co-workers feel like if you take any other job or if you switch to any other company, you'll actually make way more money than what you're making right now. In fact, some of them wonder, why are you continuing to work in this particular company when you can get more money anywhere else? That is something about you that they haven't been able to figure out. You might have your own reasons, of course, but they definitely see you as someone they like to be around, somebody they like to talk to. And again, like I said, not everybody might say this, but usually when you get something, when you win something, people do root for you, people do cheer for you. And they know that it's very well deserved. Like, you are not the kind of person who, if you get a promotion, people will, gossip amongst themselves. Oh my gosh, she must have buttered her way up for that promotion. She does not deserve it. No, because literally everybody whom you work with at your workplace knows that if anybody deserves that promotion, it is Group 1. All right, so these are all the messages that I have for you right now, Group 1. If you would like to book a personal reading with me related to your career or anything else, you can contact me through my email, Instagram, or WhatsApp, all of which you'll find in the description box. For exclusive readings, you can check out my Patreon. For more readings, you can check out my Instagram. Again, both are linked in my description. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Hello Group 2, if you guys chose this shell or if you chose the second image, let's start your reading about what does your boss think of you and what do your colleagues think of you. So how we're going to go about this reading is that the first 3 tarot cards will tell us what your boss thinks of you. When I say boss, I mean the immediate person whom you report to. Then the other 2 tarot cards will tell us what your colleagues think of you. And then lastly, your oracles will tell us what do your co-workers in general think of you. So let's begin Group 2. Spirit, what does Group 2's boss think of them? What does Group 2's boss think of them? We have the Page of Wands. What does Group 2's boss think of them? We have the Empress. What does Group 2's boss think of them, Spirit? And we have the Hierophant. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Star. So basically, Group 2, your boss thinks that you have a lot of untapped potential, which you do not take very, very seriously. Your boss feels like you play it safe, your boss feels like you don't really take as many risks as you can, they think that there's so much more that you can do. There are so many additional things that you can do. There are so many ways in which within the company you can diversify, you can expand your knowledge, you can try new things. But each time an opportunity like that is presented to you, for some or the other reason, you seem to pass it up. And your boss or your manager is not able to understand why do you do that. Your boss is not able to understand why don't you see the potential in yourself which they can see in you. In fact, group 2, if you ever feel like your boss pushes you, and I don't mean this in the sense that they're hounding you to do work during the weekends, just in general, like additional things, additional responsibilities, things that you've never done before, that kind of stuff. So if you ever feel like your boss pushes you, it's only because they want you to outgrow this current version of yourself. In fact, with the Empress over here and the Hierophant, I feel like your boss has had this chat with you as well, maybe during a feedback call or something, that they can imagine you being in their shoes someday. Yeah, some of you have definitely had this conversation with your boss or your manager. Sometimes your boss gets a feeling that you don't really take your work that seriously. Or it's almost as if you're doing this because you have to, not because you want to. And it's beyond them. It's beyond them why you don't take this seriously. Because again, like I said, just look at the progression over here. Page, Empress, Hierophant. In fact, I'm getting a message, group 2, that very soon your boss might assign you as the buddy or the mentor for any new people who join your team or any new people who join your workplace, in an attempt to sort of get you oiled up. If in the future you have to do any managerial roles, you should know how to do that. You should know how to go about it. It's almost as if they want to train you. There's more that they want to teach you. They would love for you to expand your knowledge, but sometimes your boss thinks that you don't really meet their efforts halfway. From their side, they want you to become better at what you do. From their side, they know that you can in fact be the best at what you do. But like I said, sometimes they think that you don't really take their words seriously, or you don't match their efforts. Like if they might, like I said, present you with opportunities to do something else, try something else, hop on another project, you don't do it. Or if you do it very half-heartedly, and that half-heartedness reflects in your work, and it's very evident to your boss that you're not too thrilled with it. So I feel like that's something where your boss feels like there is a lot of room for improvement. In fact, honestly, looking at your cards, group 2, I would actually agree with your boss or your manager. I also agree that you have a lot of untapped potential, and if you can start taking this a bit more seriously, there is so much more that you can achieve within the same company, or of course in the same field or whatever, but there's so much more that you can do. Okay, now let's see, what do your colleagues think of you? Spirit, what do group 2's colleagues think of them? What do group 2's colleagues think of them? We have the 9 of Pentacles. What do group 2's colleagues think of them, Spirit? And we have the 10 of Cups. Your colleagues really like you. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Hermit. So they like you. They feel like you're a fun person to chill with, you're a fun person to hang out with, a fun person to talk to. They feel like you're very helpful also. Whenever, for example, you guys are grabbing drinks after work, or whether it's an office party where you guys are bonding, these colleagues of yours, they like hanging out with you, they like talking to you, they like being around you. They feel like you're very social, they feel like you're very friendly, they feel like you're very helpful. However, sometimes, especially with this 9 of Pentacles in the bottom of the deck being the Hermit, your colleagues feel like you don't necessarily share your knowledge with others. Like if they need help with something, you'll help them, but you might not necessarily be too transparent with what exactly did you do. Or you might tell them, but you might tell them in a very hurried manner. You might not tell them all the steps. And honestly, I don't think you do it on purpose. I feel like that's just who you are. That's just who you are. You're not trying to, it's not like you're trying to selfishly retain any of that knowledge. You just feel like they don't need to know all the details. I'll just tell them that it's done and they don't need to worry. So that's how it is. But the way your colleagues see it, they feel like sometimes you try to gatekeep your knowledge. Sometimes you try to gatekeep any tips and tricks that you know. And why do you do that is beyond them. They can't understand why would a person who's so good to us, so friendly with us otherwise, why won't they help us if we are trying to expand our knowledge, or if we are trying to figure out the right way to get something to work. Also, while you do talk pleasantly with all your colleagues, you are definitely more closer to some than the rest. And whoever the rest are, whoever these other colleagues are, whom you don't necessarily talk to that much, it seems like they want to get closer to you. They want to become a part of your inner circle at work, but they feel like you're perhaps not very open to it. And is it something they did? Is it something they said? Why aren't you as friendly with them as you are with some other colleagues? They're not able to understand that. But I'm not necessarily picking up on any jealousy or anything over here. Okay, now from your oracles, we'll find out what do your co-workers in general, the people in your office, your co-workers, what do they think of you? Spirit, what do group 2's co-workers think of them? What do group 2's co-workers think of them? We have time to go. What do group 2's co-workers think of them, Spirit? Peace, which says harmony. What do group 2's co-workers think of them? And creativity. Your co-workers feel that you are the sharpest tool. There's so much that you know. Like, where is she getting all these ideas from? Why can't we brainstorm the way that she can? How is it that she always comes up with all the novel ideas? How is she so witty? How is she so smart? Things like that. And at the same time, how is she so grounded? How are you so grounded? So that's what they think about you. They feel like you're a no-nonsense person, group 2. Somebody who just stays in their lane. Somebody who is very fiercely protective of her peace. If you want to talk to somebody, you will talk to them. If you are interested in talking about something, you will talk about it. Otherwise, you won't. And the thing about you with the time to go card is that you won't hesitate to say no. You won't hesitate to drop down those, to affirm those boundaries. For instance, if your co-workers have some gossip to tell you, but if the subject of the gossip is of no interest to you, you'll say, nah, I have to go. I have to head to the gym afterwards or whatever. And you will leave. You don't necessarily care about what would somebody think of you if you do that. You only care about, or that's what your co-workers think, that you only care about how does it feel to you? What do you think of it? Are you interested in it or not? That's all that matters to you. Hard to pin down, hard to catch is another thing that's coming up. For instance, there might be a lot of your co-workers. We've seen that about your colleagues or your team members, that not all of them feel that close to you because they think you don't let them come that close to you. And similarly, in general, also the people at your workplace, your co-workers, think that it's very difficult to get a hold of you. Whether it's an office party, whether you guys have gone out for dinner together or to grab drinks together after work, you don't really initiate conversations with everyone if you don't want to. and there's nothing that anybody can do about it, because with creativity over here and peace, it seems as if when some co-worker of yours tries to break that ice with you, but if you do not want to talk to them for whatever reason, maybe you're not in the mood, maybe you're just selectively social, whatever it is, you'll come up with smart ways to cut short that small talk even further. And before they know it, they're out of words. You were never interested in carrying forward the conversation anyway, and so then they have to go back to their place. It's like they don't even understand what the hell happened, but it's very clear to them that you're not really looking for anything more. And this energy, honestly, I feel a lot of it is coming from the opposite sex. All right, some co-workers of yours who might try to hit on you, but you don't necessarily pay them too much attention. All right, group 2. So these are all the messages that I have for you right now. If you like this reading, do give it a thumbs up. If you would like to book a personal reading with me regarding your career or anything else, you can contact me through email, Instagram, or WhatsApp, all of which are given in the description box. For exclusive readings by me, you can check out my Patreon, linked in the description. And for more readings by me, you can check out my Instagram, again, linked in the description. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Hello group 3, if you guys chose the blue shell or if you chose the third image, then this is your pile. How we'll go about this reading is that the first 3 tarot cards will tell us what your boss or your manager thinks of you, and this has to be the immediate boss or immediate manager of yours whom you report to. The other 2 tarot cards will tell us what your colleagues or your team members think of you, and then the oracles in the end will tell us that in general, what do your co-workers think of you. So let's get started, group 3. Spirit, what does group 3's boss think of them? What does group 3's boss think of them? We have the 7 of Cups. What does group 3's boss think of them? Ace of Cups. What does group 3's boss think of them? Spirit, what does group 3's boss think of them? And we have the 2 of Pentacles. At the bottom of the deck, we have the King of Pentacles. Your boss thinks that you have a long way to go before you can achieve your full potential, but they know that it is there. Also, this boss or manager of yours feels like at times you act more from your emotions and not so much rationally, which is something that they would like for you to work upon. Maybe during one of your feedback calls, this is something that your manager or your boss has told you themselves, that they would like for you to be a bit more discerning when it comes to your decision making, especially the kind of decisions that require you to act in the spur of the moment. So what choices are you making there? Are those choices driven by your heart, or are those choices driven by your head? Sometimes your boss thinks that you tend to get overwhelmed or you tend to get anxious about a work that has been assigned to you without fully understanding what is required of you. So for instance, your manager or this boss of yours might hop on a call with you and tell you that they need you to do this, and they can tell by the look on your face that you seem worried. They can tell by the look on your face that you are already worrying about how you're going to finish this, how are you going to go about this. And your boss or your manager would want nothing more than for you to relax in the sense that they don't want you to lose your shit beforehand. Like, don't assume that what you're being asked to do is a mammoth task just by the sound of it. Try to understand first. Try to see if you can break it down into different steps, and then go about it. Sometimes your boss thinks that you try to do too much all at once, and because of this habit of yours, you end up overwhelming yourself. Instead, your boss thinks that if you do one thing at a time, or if you tackle one thing at a time, especially when you have time, you have more time left for the other things, the deadlines aren't anywhere in sight, why then do you have to do everything together and stress yourself out? That's something that your boss or your manager is unable to figure out about you. Where is this need to do everything all at once, at the same time, even when you have time? That's what they can't understand. So while there are a lot of, there is a lot of, I would say, compassion, like whoever this boss or your manager is, they seem to have a lot of compassion towards you. In fact, each time you get stressed or each time you get overwhelmed, I feel like this person, this boss of yours, tries to calm your nerves down. They try to give you a pep talk. But afterwards, they do wonder if you drove yourself to this point by taking on too much at the same time. Since we have the King of Pentacles over here, there is no denying, like your boss would, whether if they're having a one-on-one conversation with you or whether they're discussing you with somebody else, they always say that they have a lot of faith in you. Your boss would always say that they know that someday you can, become one of the top shots of the company. But it will take time. You see this path over here almost? And the reason why your boss feels like it's still a little ways ahead is because you haven't really figured out how to balance your tasks, or you haven't really learned how to strike that work-life balance just yet. And so you need to figure that out first, because of course, as you rise up the ranks, you will have more to do. Even if necessarily the work isn't more, the importance of it or the nuances or the risk factor definitely might be more. More responsibilities, more accountability, stuff like that. So your boss thinks that you can definitely get to that position, but in order to get to that place, first you must learn how to strike work-life balance and how to strike balance between your tasks as well. Okay, now let's see, what do your colleagues, what do your team members think of you? Spirit, what do Group 3's colleagues think of them? What do Group 3's colleagues think of them? We have the Chariot. What do Group 3's colleagues think of them? We have the Ace of Swords. So your colleagues think that you are a bit of a nerd, kind of like a know-it-all. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Eight of Wands. But thankfully, across all three piles today, I have not picked up on any evil eye or any jealousy, which is good, which is great. So your colleagues also, Group 3, feel like you're very wise, you're very intelligent, you're very knowledgeable, you love talking and they love listening to you. No matter how random the things are that are coming out of your mouth, they like listening to you. Your colleagues feel like you're a very determined person, you're very self-motivated, you have that sort of dynamic personality, you're a self-starter, as they say. They don't necessarily feel any animosity towards you, they don't necessarily feel threatened by you. They're not necessarily looking to compete against you either, as was the case, if I remember correctly, with, I think it was Group 1. In your case, it's mostly, yeah, well, Group 3 is doing their own thing, we're doing our own thing. As long as the work gets done, that's all that matters. I feel like your colleagues are a tad bit more laid back as compared to you. And I feel like it's something that you have admitted yourself in front of them, maybe multiple times. So, it's nothing new. They do feel like sometimes you talk very fast and they're unable to understand what you said. With the energy of the Chariot over here, if your colleagues come from a different country, they might have some problem trying to understand what you're saying, especially if your accents are different and you're talking very quickly. They might have a hard time figuring it out. So that is something that you can maybe work upon. Like, I won't say start talking slowly. You don't want to bore anybody, especially when there's a time crunch, but working a bit on, how do I put this? Yeah. just make sure that you keep in mind that the person that you're talking to does not talk the same way as you. So that should work. With the energy of the Chariot over here, your colleagues have no doubt that you will go places. Go places in the sense that there's still a lot up ahead for you to achieve. And they know you will. They see you as this achiever. They see you as a winner. They see you as somebody who's very hardworking. Very, very hardworking. In fact, they think that sometimes you stretch yourself maybe a bit too thin, and they're unable to understand why would you do that. Why is she being so hard on herself? Why is she working too much or so much when it's not necessarily needed? These are some things about you that they can't understand. But otherwise, most of your colleagues, in fact not most, I would say all of your colleagues, seem to get along really well with you. In fact, with the Ace of Swords over here, they know that if they ever get stuck at anything, if they ever need help, if they ever need to figure out a way to do something, almost all of them will unanimously come up with your name, that Group 3 will definitely tell us what to do. Because if anybody knows how to do this, it is Group 3, because Group 3, like I said in the beginning, is a know-it-all. They know everything. So let's just straight away approach Group 3 and ask them how to do this. Okay, now lastly, let's see, what do your co-workers, people you meet with on a daily basis, people you work with, what do they think of you? Spirit, what do Group 3's co-workers think of them? Or what do Group 3's co-workers think of them? We have the Fates. Just to clarify, co-workers are people who work in the same office as you, but might not necessarily be in the same team or department as you. What do Group 3's co-workers think of them, Spirit? We have Flow. What do Group 3's co-workers think of them, Spirit? We have Fun. Another. Look at this. Fates, Flow, Fun. Maybe you have a lot of F in your name, or your name begins with an F or whatever. And at the bottom of the look again, we have Bullseye, which says Focus. Your co-workers like you, Group 3. There's no two ways about it. Your co-workers feel like you're a great person to talk to. You're a very fun person to hang out with. Your co-workers actually look forward to spend time with you outside of office. So whether it's any meetup, any official party that's happening, or you guys are just heading out to grab a bite together after work, whatever it is, they like talking to you. They like hanging out with you. What they especially love about your energy, Group 3, is that each day you have something new to talk about. Each day you have something new to tell them. Each day there's just, your personality is not, or you as a person are not boring, and that is what they absolutely love about you. I feel like if not all, then at least those co-workers whom you're close to always wish the best for you, always. In fact, your co-workers believe in you more than you believe in yourself. So for instance, over here, like your manager believes that you can do it, even though you sometimes get overwhelmed by the task. Your colleagues know that if anybody knows the answer, if anybody can do it, it's you. So that's a running theme over here for you, over here, Group 3, that maybe you need to imbibe that same confidence in yourself which others seem to show towards you. So these co-workers of yours really believe in you. They wish the best for you. Each time something good happens with you, it's like each time you get some new merit, whether through word of mouth or some appreciation, some gift or whatever it is, they feel genuinely happy for you. In fact, they want you to get more and more and more and more of it. Similar to your colleagues or your team members, your co-workers also think that you are meant to go places. In fact, they think that whatever it is that you're doing right now, whatever position you're working on right now, whichever team or department you're working on right now, your co-workers have this feeling, maybe they've never shared this with you, but like they just know that a day will come when you would have probably surpassed them, or you would be working for a better pay at a better position, not necessarily in the same company, but maybe in the same field. But you're not here to just do this one thing. You're not here to forever just be stuck at this one thing or this one pay package or this one role. They know this. And the other thing that your co-workers really appreciate about you, Group 3, is the fact that you do not hold on to grudges at all. Today you have a rift with someone, tomorrow you'll be over it. So they like that about you. They like how easy you are to talk to. They like how easy it is for them to approach you. Your demeanor, your body language, you make people feel very welcome. You make your co-workers feel very welcome when they're sharing something with you, when they're talking to you. In fact, I feel like amongst all the co-workers, it is probably you whom people share really personal stuff with, because they know that you listen with empathy. Alright, Group 3. So these are all the messages that I have for you right now. If you like this reading, do give it a thumbs up. If you would like to book a personal reading with me regarding your career or anything else, you can contact me on my email ID, Instagram or WhatsApp, which are all given in the description box. If you would like to check out exclusive readings by me, you can see my Patreon for it, which is linked in the description box. And if you would like to check out more readings by me, make sure to follow me on Instagram, which is also given in the description. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.